Hotshot, Jetfire, Vector Prime, Landmine, Scattershot, Optimus Prime.
And I'm Optimus Wilbur. Welcome everyone back to another Optimus Wilbur Reviews, and if you want to make Baby Grimlock happy, why not hit the subscribe button, like the video, leave a comment, share it amongst your Transformer friends. This helps the channel out so much, and I am eternally grateful. Now, like Bruticus, the KO Bruticus the last time, now it's on to KO Protectobots with KO Defensor. Exact same scenario again, in the middle, it is the official Hotspot. I got Onslaught and Hotspot roughly the same time, and I couldn't get any of the Protectobots to go along with it. So, similar with the Christmas idea, one of my brothers got me Bruticus, my other brother got me Protectobots. Now, I'm not going to bring in the knockoff Hotspot. It's just kind of like the same quality as the Onslaught, but where it did hinder a lot of things is with the Toyhax decals, and I will show that when it comes to Hotspot. But as you can see, you get Groove. Streetwise is in a different colour, that's the only thing, and down the side of First Aid, you're going to see like there should have been a panel. If it's the official one, there's like a red like paint job on them. This one there isn't, but the decals work on them all. So that being said, let's kick things off, and we'll take one of the bots and look at the decals. Starting things off with Groove, the decals really do bring this knockoff version alive. This has to be the worst one out of the lot. Now, the wheels at the back, as you can see just there, they tend not to close, and with the bit at the front, it's not properly connected there. It's like one of those small pins you have to push through, but being a knockoff, I'm quite hesitant to do it because I don't know how good the plastic's going to be. But the decals do work with it, the decals do go on. So we have all this highway stuff, if it's on a patrol bike, and on the back we have nice decals for just the back of it as well. Now I know with the lights, if I remember, there's lights that can go in the guns for them, but it's like two decals. This is the other bad thing, and a heads up, the weapons don't tend to match what they've been given. And it's the same with lights of the hands and the feet. So that's the only downside to that. But the decals here do fit, and they're nice. I do like that blue on them. It is very Protectobot, and it's really good. Same on the top. Got a speed gauge and this decal here. But overall, it's the exact same going round with police one in there, which I don't understand why it's there, but you actually see it better when he's transformed and obviously when he's in Defensor mode. So I'll get Groove transformed and we'll look at the decals on him. With the decals for Groove, they just basically are these ones here and this one, just to give a bit more detail at the front. Again, likes of the Combatagons, some are quite barren, and I've also added a Autobot symbol there to hide that deformation one. On top of that, Groove has got a very questionable bit of plastic on his face that for the life of me I cannot get off. So that being said, I'm happy I've got Groove. I wish it was a bit of a better quality version of him, but I'm happy he's in the set. You have to have Defensor with Groove, not Groove being like a body decal basically when they first came out. So I have this one. I'm happy with that. So what I'm going to do with obviously the decal links, I will put them separate so you can get the decals for Groove if you have him. But for the knockoff one, the decals do fit. So next we're going to do Streetwise. With Streetwise in the knockoff version, you can clearly see there's a colour difference. And I originally bought the Proud decals, and I ended up buying these ones as well because I was like, let's just see if they look okay on them. And I actually quite like them. I quite like that blue. I know it's not kind of the same because that grey doesn't really match, but I do like the blue on them. But it is the same kind of setup with Prowl and how you apply them. But the blue on it just really does pop instantly. And if I had the official one, like I said, those decals just really do shine beautifully in that light. And if I turn it round, nice decals there as well. And up the top. Underneath, that's where the rest of them go. The only issue I've got is the clearance space. Now, I'll show you what I mean by that. This hasn't really got a lot. So if you try to move that, it doesn't really like to move. And that's the unfortunate thing. With these KOs, I've got to admit, that's 2 now. And purely only buy them if you missed out on the Protectobots and you just want it in the collection. As a toy, it's a no-go, I'm afraid. But let's get Streetwise transform and we'll look at the rest. Same idea as Prowl. The decals for Streetwise kind of just working the chest area and the area for combining onto Hotspot with a decal just at the crotch plate. At the bottom, same again. It's just finishing up like just plainness in the feet, and it just gives a little bit more colour. So the decals in the front match like that colour of Streetwise. Been interesting to see the decals for Prowl on this. It would have been interesting to see that, but I'm happy the way it is. I think when it's in complete combine mode, the blue matches the rest, and I'm cool with that look. So it's okay, but those 2 so far have been the disappointing ones out of the complete set of KO figures out of all 10, and that's unfortunate. Next, we'll move on to First Aid. With First Aid, the decals work on this, and you can imagine if they had the red banner going across here, well, those ones there are meant to join. But you've got a decal here, and I've added that Autobot logo, and a nice black decal here. On the front, those 2 decals and that Autobot logo. Fortunately, there's nothing for the grille for this side and on top, and I forgot to mention it in Streetwise, but they actually put this silver part down like where the lights would be. On top as well, we've got extra windows added, and it's just matching on each side with small decals here for lights. And if I turn them round and zoom really hard in this one, you can just make out the mirrors as well. On the back, you've got emergency windows now, and it continues that theme going along the bottom with lights and a license plate. The First Aid bot is okay, no complaints again, it moves a bit better. The only problem is my one, if I zoom in here, and it's come out the plastic mould, it still has a bit of plastic just right there, stopping it from turning a lot better. Apart from that, the mould's a lot better than the other 2, so I can't complain when it's just something as nitpicky as that. I could probably sand it off with a nail file, which I could have did before this video, but I genuinely did forget. So we'll get him transformed and we'll look at the decals that are on him as well. The front of First Aid, it's really what you see. It's just they've added decals here, this bit again, and in the middle. Down at the bottom, that would have been another one of those deformation logos, so I just stuck the normal decal on there. But it looks a lot better like that. I think the blue matching off the red is really cool looking, and it does resemble an ambulance, so I'm cool with that. No complaints with the decals there, and it does brighten them up. So let's finish off the knockoff bots with blades, then we'll go right into Hotspot. With blades, you can see with the Windows decals, you can only really do two because it has one of those deformation symbols right there, and I had to put an Autobot logo on it. Even if I put the Windows on it, you're still going to see that logo. At the bottom again, we've got that nice black decal finishing off the cockpit and coming to the side. Don't know why a rescue helicopter has missiles, but we have a nice red decal in there and there, which breaks up the colouring. On the arms, we have beautiful white and red decals, and on the blades we have those mirrored decals and a nice decal at the back of the tail. So everything is similar to Vortex, and you're going to see the same when he's transformed. Everything is quite exactly the same because it is that same reused mould, and that's okay. But I think with this one they could have changed this, they could have took these bits off, but hey ho. I think Hasbro at the time, just let's get them out the door, everybody will buy them. So let's get them transformed and we'll look at them in robot mode. The same as Vortex, a lot of decals are just really on the front, but he didn't get a lot compared to Vortex. So really all we got for the front were these two decals there. This one to break up the colour scheme of just being plain white. And once again, I added, in case he fell there, an Autobot logo there. I actually think that was a part of the set. Yes, it was. So that completes blades and the KO Protectobots. It's an okay set. The fact 2 out of 4 is okay. It's passable if you missed out, and for the price they go for, and you can combine them onto the standard Hotspot, it's okay. But it fails compared to Bruticus, in my opinion. But Toyhax done a great job for those guys, and the fact that those decals fit on the KO bots shows that there's something that can be done to make them more unique, and that's one thing I wanted to do. Even though I knew they were KOs, I wanted to make them more unique to have. So let's finish up with Hotspot. There's a lot of decals on him, but it really makes the figure pop. Before we get to Hotspot, I actually forgot, I got this little shuttle with it as well. It's like a American weapon. I'll show you. So you just do that, and like there you go. And if you want to transform them, put that down, and that's that. No idea why I got it with it, but yeah, it came with those Protectobots. And we'll finish off with Hotspot. Again, one of the ones when I was a kid, it was actually my brother that had him, and I always preferred him over Inferno. I don't know why, I think it was just the blue, it always stood out to me, and I always symbolised that blue with the Autobots. And I just love the character. I just love every time I seen a variation of the toy, I had to try and get my hands on it, especially after the G1. And I really do like the Combiner Wars version, because this was the original mould, and it works better for this compared to the likes of Onslaught, which they had. You can see there's differences made, and it does work, but I still prefer this mode. So let's start with the decals. So if I bring you up to the ladder, you can clearly see beautiful mirrored decals on up here, which fill in a lot of the black and take away just like the basic plain black look. Move it down and we'll zoom in and sharpen up. Adding decals here, going right across here as well, and on the wheels. All the wheels are the exact same. Brightens up the side of the cab for Hotspot. That mirrored look really finished it off compared to just being that plain blue. And like Onslaught, everything matches up here as well. I just love those hazards. For like the warnings, sorry, no hazards, but the warnings, like warning labels for emergency. On the front, nice see-through fire rescue. And if we come down at the side, we have exact same again as the Onslaught. We've got, instead of those bronze ones, we've got silver ones for Hotspot, and another one of those like warning colours at the back. Exact same, continues the theme going all the way around. At the back, I can clearly see that one's just a little bit squint, but it goes all the way around as well. And if we go right to the top, you can see they've added those silver decals there again, and we've got those ones at the back, which complete the way the fire engine looks. It just looks incredible. That, to me, looks brilliant. That is like using space that Hasbro just left, and Toyhax has made it unique. And when you look at that, that is a unique bot. And you're going to see a little bit more when she's in transformation mode. Transformed, Hotspot just looks as good as he did in G1, and you can see where Toyhax have took inspiration, adding the decals right in the middle to finish that look, to make him look like he was from the Generation 1 toy line. At the side, and matching on the other side as well, we have this unique style with where the plastic is and the gaps. They've managed to put like the logo in amongst that with the decals, and it just looks incredible. Overall, I love the way Hotspot's turned out. Again with Onslaught, the decals really do a lovely job of them. There wasn't really much for Defensor, but I will point them out. But let's get them combined now, and let's have a look at Defensor. Having Defensor transform, it does look a lot better, and having Groove there does finishing it off. So if I zoom in, really all the decals for Defensor was right in that middle chest bit and going down. So all it is symmetrical decals there. Two red ones and one's matching on the leg, which finishes off Defensor and completing all the Protectobots with their decals. And they give you a rough height if you've got them. I'm going to use them anyhow because he's never been in a video. So I thought I would bring in, just for a bit of change, United Warriors Superion. Get the two Autobot combiners in, and that gives you a rough idea of the height. Superion has got a little bit of advantage just with the way the transformation is and the way his head sculpture. But you never know, I might bring the decals over for this guy. I've had him for a while, and I think it's time I do actually decal him up. Problem is, to decal up Superion, I am looking roughly about $60 after it's been shipped. So with Defensor, I got a lot of decals that were on offer. Obviously, they were the winter sale, and some of them were down to $5. So that helped out with the likes of these guys, but with the Superion, they're still at $10. And like I said, as soon as I put in postage, it just inflates everything. So maybe one day. But Transformer fans, that's been the KO Protectobots, but with the official Hotspot in the middle. It's good if you want to add it to collection for what it's worth. It was the exact same amount as the Bruticus, which was roughly between $35 to $40. And the only complaints I've got is just some of the quality within Groove and Streetwise. That's really it. Apart from that, the guys do their job when they're combined to Hotspot. It looks like Defensor. I'm over the moon with that. And I will see you soon, Transformer fans. Thank you for everyone who tuned in today's video. If you want to make Baby Grimlock happy, why not hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. All new videos are always coming right here in Optimus Wilbur Reviews. If you'd like to follow me in any of my social media links, all the descriptions are in the description box below. And of course, as always, I cannot stress this enough, I wish to thank Cybertronic Spree for allowing me to use their song Cybertronic Warrior as the theme of this channel. Guys, this is an incredible band, it does incredible covers, and recently just done an amazing album of the Transformers 1986 movie soundtrack. please follow them and all their social media links. I have every description in the description box below. Please check them out, and as always, Transformer fans, till all are one.